decrease in the cloud cover tonight, and overnight low in the mid-30s. Friday, lots of sunshine, our high in the mid to upper 60s. And Saturday, an increase in the sun, our high near 70. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
2 seconds, 1 second, he lets fly with a shot.
From the Busch Light Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
Great Scott!
I got a bad feeling about this.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas! I love everything here! Give me that thing here! Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
I got to warm ourselves up before we get this thing going here. Just another little chilly day before we get a feel of springtime over the weekend across the natural state. I know it's probably nicer in the River Valley today.
Northwest
Not really.
Arkansas,
it's
chilly. Pretty chilly. It's I think I had 53 today. It was like 31 when I left my apartment this morning.
Well, it's pretty much nasty all day yesterday. That's why we didn't have a baseball game. But the Must Bus picks up. I mean, like, when did their run in the NCAA tournament end? Saturday?
5 days ago?
Yeah. And already picking up a transfer. First of the year. Boy, the Must Bus picks up some passengers immediately. That is amazing to see. We were talking about getting maybe that 7'1" center from Utah Valley State. You end up with a 6'9" forward from Mizzou.
Still possible. You probably still get the center. I mean, 6'9", yeah, that's some size, but you know, we talked about having that bruiser down low, that guy that can really throw his weight around and can impose his will on him. I mean, not to say Brazil can't do that, but just looking at his size, looking at his body type, that's not really the ideal guy that you want to have down there to kind of compete with the Oscar Tshiebwe's of the world. Because just because Oscar's going to the NBA doesn't mean there's not somebody in high school or in the transfer portal that you're going to run into next year that looks a heck of a lot like him.
We kind of wonder, like, where does the room come for another transfer? So, I mean, you're still waiting on, and you're going to be waiting for, I guess, a little bit here on decisions by J.D. Notte, by Jalen Williams, by Audi's Tony, who's coming back next year, and basically how many more transfers you can bring in. Because as of right now, you probably got a couple too many players.
Yeah.
For as far as your scholarship situation is concerned, 15 players,
13 slots right now.
That's right. So I have to figure that thing out. We'll get into that as well in just a little bit. We've got Bob Holt at 12:30 today, a day also away from the beginning of an Arkansas baseball series, stepping into the SEC West for the first time and taking on last year's national champion Mississippi State, a team that Arkansas swept last year and has won 5 in a row against. And really, this is when the baseball schedule feels like it begins to kick in. Florida next week, you know, A&M soon, Ole Miss pretty soon.
This is the meat and potatoes of your schedule right here.
That's right. That's right. This is the protein, so to speak, of the schedule. And we got some interesting other baseball things happening here, with minor league baseball moving second base closer than it's been recently. It's kind of nuts. Didn't even realize that second base has not been 90 feet from first base or third base since like the 1880s.
Huh. I didn't either. I just always thought because that's when I first read the story and I kind of put it up there on the rundown, was like, well, how short is it going to be? As I'd always just like you just assumed that when it's 90 feet between bases, that meant all the bases.
Yeah. Well, it's 90 feet from home plate to first base, the same from home plate to third base, but it's been 88 feet from first to second and from second to third. I don't think anybody really even knew that. I don't think any players knew that. I don't think managers knew that. Maybe the groundskeepers who laid the field out
I'm
or
sure
built
they did.
stadiums, the people who built the stadiums and built the fields might have known that. But I didn't even know that, and now they're going to not dramatically lessen the distance, but just a little bit. When you got 90 feet to work with, like an inch and a half is just a little bit, but it does make a difference because it's going to 87.5 feet. So something to get into also later on in the show. We didn't hit on this yesterday, but we're going to need to because it is it wedding season now, or does wedding season start when the temperature starts to pick up a little bit?
I say weddings. Well, I've got a wedding to go to this month. So I'm going to say the end of April is when my wedding season starts. And then my wedding season will officially end the weekend before Thanksgiving. So I've got, like I said, I've got 4 weddings from this month all the way through November. I've been invited to 5. Probably not going to go to the 5th. Not because I don't like those people. It's just scheduling-wise, it's a little hard to keep taking off for weddings. So
August, September, October. No, you're talking 8 months worth of wedding season here. There is no sport that lasts 8 months long. We've got to have something that actually fits into, like a 5-month window of what so many of the regular seasons are going by here. You got to get either that or you need some new friends who know how to schedule things properly.
Ultimately, I need new friends. And the only reason why the ones in football season, that's my biggest thing, is never get married during football season. A guy I used to work with, John Stacy, used to always say about people that got married in the fall is that, do you know what they call people that get married during football season? And he'd say, divorced, because that's when their anniversaries will probably line up on a big game Saturday, a big time matchup and everything like that. And, there will be some arguments about how you celebrate anniversaries.
Now, you're talking about college football season specifically.
Yes.
Is it okay to get married during the NFL season? It's about the same time of the year. But those are Sunday weddings.
No, because your anniversary will eventually fall on a Saturday because that's how dates go.
Okay.
Yeah, so just
essentially, if you get married sometime in the fall, you might as well just start drawing up the divorce papers, right?
Pretty much in my mind. So, but the only reason I'm going to the 3 in the fall is because I'm officiating one of them, and I'm a groomsman in the other 2. So these are like my best friends, so I kind of have to be there.
Well, guess who got married in the middle of football season? This guy right here. And guess who's divorced as well? This guy right here. Didn't have anything to do with that. But when you work in baseball, you got to get married
and
when
that's
it's
different.
not
That's
baseball
different
season.
because.
But I did, and it was a Jewish wedding, which doesn't occur on a Saturday. So we got married on a Sunday, right as the Pittsburgh Steelers were playing the Green Bay Packers. And I've got plenty of being born and raised in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. You could imagine like 75% of my friends that were there were Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And this was 2005, so nobody could watch the game on their phones and fake it. They might have been able to listen to it a little bit on their phones, but I got score updates up on, under the huppah, essentially, because I was interested too. I was interested too, man.
That's the thing about sports and why I don't think you should get married during big sporting events. That's why this coming weekend should always be off limits. I know Ty's got a wedding to go to this weekend due to the Final Four. Super Bowl weekend, definitely off limits. Because ultimately, you're a bad friend if you're going to make your friends choose between you celebrating your love and their love of sports. And as somebody that works in sports, my love of sports is probably going to win every time.
And definitely you don't want to have to worry about it once a year when you're not allowed to care about. Hey, what if you get, I would say this. Nobody that's a big football fan, like, you're going to put it on the woman, right? Mm-hmm. There are plenty of women that are football fans, huge football fans, college football fans, NFL football fans. Is it okay to get married at the stadium? What if you had a wedding at Razorback Stadium before kickoff of pick a random game next year?
See, now that'd be awesome. At home.
Like LSU coming in next year. Would it be okay to get married at the stadium? I don't know if you've got to get that passed by anybody. Just like you don't need to get You don't need to get a thumbs up from somebody to get Reverend Paul Andrew Barrett there in the parking lot with you.
I'll do it right under the tent of the tailgate.
And there you go. And there you can actually celebrate the things that you love all at the same time. Football and your significant other.
I'm all for it.
And you don't have to worry about it for the rest of your life. Then you can celebrate your anniversary at a football game, just like you've always wanted to.
See, I'm all for it, and I think 99% of our male audience out there is listening, but I'm going to guess our female audience out there, that approval rating is not very high. I'm going to guess we're hitting at about 10% or lower of women that would, even the diehard Razorback fans out there, they still probably want their special day to just be about them. So.
Well, and then one of the great things, if you get married at a home game, then you can have your honeymoon at the following road game the next week. I don't have my schedule in front of you. You get married at home at the LSU game, and then you take a trip to Auburn, Alabama, which I know is lovely for honeymoon.
Especially in the fall.
It's just the perfect honeymoon spot for everybody.
I'm sure they've got plenty of nice B&Bs there, too. So, I mean, Auburn's that kind of small town that I feel like they've probably got, like, a really, really good bed and breakfast that would work out. But here's the thing. Here's the reason why it's on the rundown. And it's not just wedding season, but
baseball season, too.
It is. But the reason why I have this on there, and this is from the missus, her friend just got engaged. So, Mazel Tov, congratulations.
Good drop on the Mazel Tov.
Thank you. I'm learning. So, I don't know if you or most of our audience is aware, but millennials, we are the worst. I understand that. Are all about wedding hashtags for social media. Like hashtag becoming joining the Smiths, or they do like clever little sayings, right? And it's all about having the wittiest hashtag. So Caroline's friend is getting married to a man whose last name is Arkansas. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it because I thought that was I didn't think it was a real last name. It's his real last name.
I've seen an athlete. I forget what team he played. It might have been, was it Texas A&M or something? The kid's name was DJ Arkansas.
Nice.
So I've seen the last name Arkansas before, but only once, and it was recent.
You had seen one more than I had because I had never seen or heard of anybody with the last name of Arkansas. So her friend knows that I obviously work here at ESPN Arkansas and have the power to broadcast it to the masses. They need help coming up with a wedding hashtag that has Arkansas in it.
I already have a divorce hashtag for them for when this thing goes sour.
What is it
now? Escaping Arkansas. Hashtag escaping Arkansas. So I'm sorry I went in that direction first, but that's the last thing.
Please give him a shot. Let's try love.
That's right. I don't know. That was the first thing that popped into my mind. So if anybody's got great ideas for a wedding hashtag that involves the last name Arkansas, send them over to us. 877-377-6963. BE's already said a Woo Pig, Arkansas. I don't know if that fits. That would fit if you're getting married to someone with the last name Arkansas at a Razorback football game.
That it would.
As I'm trying to convince most of our listeners who are in love and are planning on getting engaged and are planning on getting married to a football fan during the football season.
And with Reverend Paul Barrett officiating the wedding, of course.
Yes, our marrying reverend will have to be a part of it as well. So we got all that in front of us and a lot more on Halftime Today, which also includes, very sadly, the end, feels abruptly, of the acting career of Bruce Willis, which was announced yesterday. But Halftime is brought to you by Bud Anderson Heating and Cooling. That's where you get the furnace for free when you get a new qualifying system from Bud Anderson, the official heating and cooling provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's right, you get a free furnace when you buy a new system from Bud Anderson, and with no down payment, no interest for 72 months on qualifying systems, and 12-year parts and labor warranty. There's no reason to wait. That's the furnace free when you buy a new system from Bud Anderson, where one call does it all. And the number for that one call is 855-GO-CALL-BUD, or you just go to gocallbud.com. Looks like we got some phone calls lined up. Stay tuned. Halftime continues.
I swear show diamonds today. Strike 'em out, love to sing. Russian sack are two insane skies. Hogs score, I'm feeling so high. Going hog wild on Dixon Street.
ESPN 95.3.
Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, online at randallford.com. Jordan, I know sometimes when people get on the lot, you don't always have what they want, but the great thing that you guys offer here at Randall Ford is you can special order it, and you were just telling me something important about that. Lock in your rebates today.
Absolutely, Ty. You know, we've got some great rebates going on right now with Ford, and let's say you get in here and we just don't quite have the one you want. You order that vehicle today, even if it's 3 or 4 months from now. Whenever it comes in, you get to choose your rebates from the day you ordered it or the day you get it, whatever works best for you.
That's almost like you guys losing money for your customers, man. That's awesome.
We just want to make sure they're happy, Ty. That's really what it is. We want you to be part of the Randall Ford family.
Yeah, let's come on by and see us again. The 4th oldest Ford dealership in the country. 114 years, 4 generations of Randall members here at Randall Ford. 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or online at randallford.com.
Great news, sports fans. Bentley Sportsbook from Southland Casino is the only online sportsbook live in Arkansas. Visit Bentley.com today to sign up and cash in on your up to $250 risk-free first bet. Bentley Online Sports Betting delivers easy action and real paydays. You can place bets on pro and amateur sports, including college basketball. At Bentley, BETLY.com, you can bet on all the local favorites and get paid in cash for your winners. Bring all the easy action home with Bentley Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas to bet. Play responsibly. For help winning, call 800-522-4700.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Stop by your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith, where it's happy hour all day, every day. $4 cocktails, $5 wines, and $2 draft beers. It's free to join Fridays Rewards. Get free chips and salsa or $3 off any appetizer. And this weekend, get the madness kicked off with 25% off party platters and family meal bundles to go. Just go to Fridays.com to order. It's your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
It's time to get in the game, Fort Smith. Hi, Coach Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm a maniac for March basketball, but if I'm going to catch all the games, I need your help. So I've cooked up a 3-point plan to help you rebound from your old ride. 1, pick the perfect car for you from our huge inventory of Rath Road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. 2, pass me your old ride. 3, I'll come in with the assist and give you up to $3,300 more than appraised value. So if your old ride makes you feel second string, slam dunk your junk and start driving better today in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free AC check, half-off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done at the buzzer. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends March 31st, 2022.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
So we go to hashtag Arkansas or bust. Ooh, I like this one from Bruce. He didn't use hashtag with it, though. But this goes into a recent conversation. Hashtag future porkers.
I love it.
Yuck, yuck, yuck. Dustin says, hashtag Arkansas that coming. Not exactly
I get
sure
it.
where we go into that one.
Well, it's a play on words of I saw that coming. Like Arkansas that coming.
I like this one from Stacy.
Stacy's leading the clubhouse right now.
Hashtag getting the Big Rock, Arkansas. That's a long hashtag. It's a good play off of the capital city. But this also, Stacy, sort of presumes that
it's a
big rock. And it's not always a very big rock. Sometimes it's kind of small and little tiny and looks like the point of a pin.
I haven't seen the ring.
I'm
not
rock.
Sure.
It could just be the Little Rock in that case, and then it's a perfect hashtag for an Arkansas wedding. Involved with somebody whose last name is Arkansas.
I don't even know if they're Arkansas fans.
Well,
like, it feels like it has to be natural. Like, your last name's Arkansas. Like, you don't get a choice. Like, it'd be really weird if he was a diehard LSU or an A&M fan. So, hopefully it is all about the Woo Pig.
I think you need to change your name in that case. There's plenty of opportunities to change your name to the team that you actually root for. If your last name's Arkansas, then something tells me you got a soft spot for all things Arkansas, deep in the cavernous heart.
Well, you would think. I mean, you'd be a fan of the team that wears your name on their jerseys. On the front. Your name's on the front. Most people, they only get it on the back.
So often when you live somewhere where you haven't grown up, your nickname becomes where you were from. You know, like I've been called Pittsburgh before, not here in Arkansas, but in other places. When I was a student in Indiana and I had my first job in baseball, the whole group that I worked with just called me Indiana for 3 months. It's the only time that's ever happened before. And people still call me Philly cream cheese or Philadelphia, even though that's like way on the other side of the state from where I grew up. Don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Don't do that. Dave in Mount Ida has given us a call. Dave, what do you have? Do you have something for a hashtag wedding here, an Arkansas hashtag wedding? What do we got?
Hey, y'all was talking about moving the base back to second base.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that too.
Well, the reason why is because when you measure the bases and when you lay out a field, and I've done this because I know this, it's 127 feet to the center of the bat. So that makes your baseline shorter between first and second and third. It's not to the edge of the bag like it is on first base and second base when you're measuring from home plate.
That's right.
It's actually to the center of the bag.
That's right. And when I read the piece that Jason Stark wrote in The Athletic about this, that originally the first and third base, the baselines went right into the middle of the base, not like you do now. And in order to make it easier for the umpires to call fair foul, the bases were moved, first and third were moved to where they are, to where they fit nicely into that corner, that 90-degree right angle from the baseline. Right. But second base has never moved from where it was. So it's really what's happened is that first and third base moved like 140 years ago. Second base stayed where it was. The baselines go right into the middle of second base. So what they're doing is they're moving second base forward just a little bit, so now it will fit into that 90-degree angle. But it's just short. It ends up shortening the distance between first and second and third. So hopefully that leads to more first and third running and a little more base stealing too. You know, I found it interesting that in
but top times is going to be ridiculous now. And then second base is going to be just a little bit harder because you're talking about milliseconds.
Having a little trouble understanding what it is you're saying, Dave.
I said when you shorten the base to second base, your pop time from your catcher to second base is going to be a lot less, and stealing second to third, first to second.
Well, every distance is shortened in that case. Every distance is, then it's shorter for the runners.
Equals
too.
out, right?
It really does. And I saw that they had Major League Baseball had the Pacific Coast League or whatever it was called last year, AAA West. They, without telling anybody, moved second base up a little bit, just like they're going to do across minor league baseball this year. But they've told everybody this year. They didn't tell anybody last year. So there wasn't any big uptick in stolen base attempts, but there was a little bit of an uptick in stolen base success. So it led to maybe like a 3 or 4 percentage boost in success rate in stolen bases. And with that knowledge, and now with the knowledge that, and again, this isn't Major League Baseball that's doing this because they use the minor leagues as the
trial and error system,
the laboratory for all these new rules. I think in the minor leagues you're going to see a pretty heavy uptick in attempted steals and probably in the success rate too. So I think it makes for a more watchable game, more exciting game. I love speed on the bases. I think everybody loves watching guys show their speed.
It absolutely will, and you're gonna see some pop times from the catchers like Yachty and some of those guys that have been around for a while. They're really good catchers. Their pop time is going to increase too.
Yep, and the bases are getting a little bit larger, so they're trying to give runners, I think, a little bit, not an advantage, but take away what's been not a disadvantage to them, but just guys who have speed. Your game has been devalued a little bit, and hopefully there'll be a little bit more value in speed, because I mean one of the things I loved about baseball growing up in the 1980s is that it felt like then there was a really nice balance between power hitting and speed. You had nobody bases their team off of speed any longer.
No.
There were teams that won world championships back then, and even then in the 90s, and more recently the Royals, when they won their world championship, that team was based on speed, contact. Nobody does that anymore. This is just trying to tweak things a little bit to give more of a reason for teams to try to steal bases and go first to third and don't be so afraid of the ground ball at times.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. We've talked about it multiple times on this show about how we both would love for the game to get away from analytics, for the game to get away from launch angles and more back to normal baseball, more back to playing different styles, more back to laying down bunts and being able to hit the opposite direction and hit and runs and suicides and all the other great things that go into a baseball game outside of an Earl Weaver 3-run home run special. Like, while those are exciting, they are fun, they're one part of the game. We don't need to value that one part over so many different other aspects and ways to play the game just because chicks dig the long ball, and basically. So I'm all for it. Anything that can get the game back to more of a strategic feel to it, because it does feel like the strategy is being taken out of the game so much with launch angles, with power hitting, with eliminating shifts. Like, realistically, why would a coaching staff and a manager even matter outside of being able to fill out a lineup card? What strategy do any managers really play in today's game when you're limiting their moves so much?
That's part of the reason why it now in the game it feels like the decisions are made from up on high, from ownership down to team president level, down to general manager level, and then the manager is sort of told in some cases like what the lineup is going to look like and to just stay out of the way.
It feels like Tom Hanks' character in A League of Their Own. They're just supposed to go out there, smile, and wave their little cap now. That's all they got to do.
Just don't show up drunk,
yeah.
like Dykes did in that movie. I would say that would be a rather bad idea to pull that along. Bruce says it's hard to steal a base when you only strike out or bash a homer in the majors, but the walks go along with the strikeouts and the home runs, and with the infielders probably in the near future not allowed to set up their feet on the outfield grass, you're not going to have people. The strategy will shift just a little bit because it won't be so. They won't be so frightened, to hit ground balls on the right side. For lefties, righties to hit ground balls on the left. They don't want to hit ground balls. Ground balls just happen. And when you have three infielders on one side, because they can play in the outfield too, then it's easier to pick it up, throw them out. When they're playing closer, those hard ground balls, those line drives get through. And then you have more base runners, and then you have more first to third. And it just all sort of, one thing kind of leads to the next for me. And then Dustin says, ban the DH in both leagues.
No,
Dustin, I don't know what world you're living in, because that's never going to happen when they've brought the designated hitter into the National League. So,
I'm pro DH. I always have been.
The so-called quote-unquote purists, you need to give up on it. It is never going to change. Never, ever, ever.
Pitchers should never be allowed to hit unless your name's Shohei Ohtani.
Halftime's brought to you by Riley Farm Dental. Our friends Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan at 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A in Fort Smith. It's right there at the entrance of Riley Farms at Highway 71. They serve to give patients better lives and comfortable experiences. If you need braces, implants, cosmetics, they can handle all of that and the simple stuff too. Voted top 3 best of the best now 4 years running and probably be a 5th as well. That's Riley Farm Dental. RileyFarmDental.com, 226-3500, or visit them at 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A. Much more on Halftime coming up after this.
She's gonna be somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
My sweet cheeks feeling squeaky clean when Charmin's rolling behind the scenes. Charmin TP gives me those cheeky clean feels. That ultra strong hype is all for reals. Those TP rolls got me a Charmin clean took-es. Cheek to cheek feeling oh so shook-es.
Charmin Ultra Strong just cleans better. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Spring is here, and Jelco Outdoors has all the gear for getting outdoors. There's no better way to spend a day than catching fish on a pond, creek, lake, or river. Jelco has all the rods, reels, baits, and tackle to make your fishing a success. Hurry in and check out the new fishing kayaks and canoes by Old Town and New Canoe. Bass fishermen, check out the new American-made JB3 rods, the lightest rods on earth. When you think spring, think Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
In a day and age of global business, sometimes it's nice to have a friendly professional close to home and on your side. First Western offers exactly that when you're getting a home loan. Their mortgage professionals have over 100 years of combined experience in this market to help you navigate the mortgage process. Contact First Western today at 479-936-2040 or firstwestern.com/mortgage. First Western is your local community bank and would love to walk you through the home loan process. First Western is an equal housing lender.
Looking for something a bit lighter for lunch or dinner? Art's Barbecue and Burgers has added blackened or grilled tilapia to the menu with all of your favorite sides. If catfish is what pleases your palate, every Friday night is all-you-can-eat catfish at Art's Barbecue. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has it all for your lighter lunch or dinner or your weekend pig out. And don't forget $1 off all burgers every Saturday. Call 452-2550 for to-go orders. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for March Madness and beyond. In stock now, Peyton Manning's Bourbon, made with a blend of 3 Tennessee bourbons to create a special and one-of-a-kind offering. Enjoy this bourbon or choose from a fine selection of quality bourbons and whiskeys throughout the store. Wine Wednesday every Wednesday, or hit the cooler for the coldest beer in town. All this and more at Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing.
Wide open look for Amude, and he buries it.
NWA Gold and Silver has moved to a new location in Fort Smith at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express. NWA Gold and Silver is always buying gold and silver, scrap, bullion, and coins. Plus, NWA Gold and Silver buys and sells jewelry of all kinds. Diamond rings, wedding bands, engagement rings, earrings, and more. Bring in your gold or silver today to the people that pay the most and have the best deals. NWA Gold and Silver in their new location at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express in Fort Smith.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work, real work, working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Life's a sin,
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
I can always appreciate going into the break and then out of the break with probably the two more famous songs from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Two of my favorite scenes.
And the scenes that go along with them, of course, yes. 877-377-6963. All right, Drew, let's get into this Trayvon Brazile signing for Arkansas.
Is it Brazil or Brazil?
Brazil. Well, you got the E at the end of it. I'm not exactly sure.
I think the E's silent. I think it's just Brazil.
Trayvon Brazile. So last year you had an open scholarship. That's how Kate Arbogast got the scholarship. I remember when they did that. And so you essentially had 12 players to choose from that were scholarship players, and you had one that was still open.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even with Chance Moore leaving, and this incredible signing class coming in, Nick Smith, Jordan Walsh, Anthony Black, Darian Ford, Barry Dunning, Joseph Pinion, and now Brazile signs, that's 15 players for 13 scholarships. And put it out there early, none of the players are about to be giving up their scholarship just to be a walk-on for this basketball team. So somebody's got to go. It's got to be two. It has to be two players that will be on their way out.
At least two. I mean, probably need three to just get you to still be able to play the portal game. I mean, I think that Musselman's probably not satisfied with the one pickup out of the portal. I think he'll continue to try to get size because, like we talked about with Brazile, decent size. I mean, tall, 6'9", has grown 2 inches since high school and is going to be a sophomore this coming season. So he's growing, but he's still not the big body that I think that you need for this Arkansas team to be able to dominate down low. And Jalen Williams does a heck of a job. And I think if Jalen Williams goes to the NBA, I think he probably should because, he's not getting any younger. And NBA draft is all about potential and all about how high your ceiling is. And the longer you stay in college, the shorter your ceiling gets, the shorter your potential becomes of what you can grow to. And the way that he rebounds is the reason why I think he's going to have an incredible NBA career. He might not ever be a superstar on a team, but he will be a great guy off the bench. You can make a 8 to 10 plus year career out of rebounding alone in the NBA. And the way that he always seems to grab every rebound so securely with two hands, like watching him rebound in person and throughout the season has been so great to watch. And for any young big man out there listening that you want to figure out a way to enhance your game, watch Jalen Williams rebound. Watch how he secures that basketball to where there isn't a chance for somebody to swoop their hand in there and knock it away and ultimately, extend the possession for the other team. Watch how he rebounds. And the way that he does it is why I think he needs to go to the NBA now, because I don't think that his stock is going to grow. I think he's shown the NBA everything that he has to offer and everything they need to see. So that's one right there. But
the writing's been on the wall for Connor Vanover for I think for the entire season.
Yeah, so that'd be two. So I still think one or two more exit, whether that's JD to the NBA, whether that's KK or Jackson.
I kind of wonder about KK Robinson because I just don't know how you end up getting on the court on your third year when Nick Smith is going to be playing. Anthony Black is playing the same position as KK Robinson with much more size, and if he can defend without fouling, he'll be out there. KK's problem is that he doesn't defend without fouling, and you just can't be on the court. And the Jackson Robinson issue, Jackson's already used his free transfer without sitting, coming over from A&M after 1 year. So if Jackson Robinson decides to transfer somewhere else, he's got to sit a season. KK doesn't have to do that. He can go play after transferring and not having to worry about it. So I would kind of wonder that it might be KK. But these are conversations that the coaching staff probably has with each of these players. I mean, you got to be honest with them about how they fit into next year so that they know the lay of the land. And the lay of the land is, out of your 6 signees that are coming in next year, I just think 5 of them are going to be on the court a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
and Trevin Brazil is not coming here to sit,
No.
especially at 6'9", and I mean he's got a bigger wingspan. I know he's not like some big, bulky forward, but he's somebody that can block some shots for you, and I think plays a little taller than the 6'9".
What I think is that Musselman's basically bringing in him to replace Jalen. I think Muss sees that Brazil could be a Jalen type of player. It's the way he does defend and, like you said, does have that blocking ability. I think he brings him in to have a solid 4, but I still think they're going to be looking for that big 5 and not create the pressure for Brazil like the pressure is on Jalen to have to control the paint and have to kind of do it all on his own because you didn't have very much size to go along with him. So I think Brazil's going to fall straight into that solid, by the book 4. And then, you bring in an ideal 5.
And then, kind of just got to wait on Audis Tony, on Jalen Williams, on J.D. Note, and that's kind of what everybody, I think, in Arkansas basketball land are waiting on those decisions with heavily, heavily bated breath. Mr. Pibb asking, who did we regularly see play this year that is coming back? Well, I would think Devo Davis is on his way back. Kamani Johnson, I think, already announced he'll come back for another year. Not like he was, in the regular rotation because there were a few games he did sit, but he is coming back, and I think he played a fairly important role. Other than those two, you're still waiting on JD, on Jalen, and an Audis. That's it. It's just those two. I can't imagine Devo's going anywhere else.
No.
And Kamani already said he's coming back. So that's it.
And you also got to remember the way that the draft works nowadays, even if JD and Jalen, and heck, even say Audis does it too, just to kind of test out the draft waters, they can enter their name into the NBA draft and after the combine, and once they're able to get, sit down with some teams and get some feedback, they can take their name out and they have their eligibility remaining. So just because one of them says that, hey, it's time for me to test the NBA waters, that doesn't automatically mean that they're not going to come back. I think that that's going to be a conversation Eric Musselman's going to have with them of saying, you put your name in, I'm going to go hit the portal and I'm replacing you, and there may or may not be a spot here for you, because that's a long time, especially how quick the portal does start to work and end after the season ends for a lot of teams. You could be talking about not knowing whether they'll pull their name back until the middle of June. So that's going to put Eric Musselman kind of in a tight spot to kind of figure out, do I want to leave that spot open for them just in case, or do I want to go ahead and fill it with a guy that I know will be here?
Well, Muss already dealt with that when the NBA draft was pushed back because of the shutdown in 2020. I mean, you had Isaiah Joe say, yeah, I'm coming back, and then, no, I'm not. In August.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that draft is not pushed back again. We've got Hognoxious on hold here. Hognoxious, I was really bummed out I didn't get a chance to see you from up on high yesterday at Paul Walker Stadium, but I'm looking forward to doing it tomorrow. What are you up to?
I'm looking forward to tomorrow and hoping it's better weather. I will tell you that the majority of Benton County is getting snow and at times heavy snow coming out of the sky. It doesn't matter because it's 35 degrees and it's not sticking anywhere. It's just melting when it hits the ground. And it's really funny, to those of us who haven't put plants out and have a bad night ahead, because they should be like me and procrastinate in their gardening so that nothing ever freezes.
I've got a basil plant that's sitting outside right now. I'm not bringing it back in because it's not snowing in Fayetteville. I know it's snowing in Bentonville, in Lowell, but it's not snowing here in Fayetteville, not yet.
And I've given up my dreams of gardening. I tried to start one during quarantine, like everybody else picked up a random hobby, and darn squirrels ate everything.
Hognoxious, what do you think? You think you can garden and grow a couple of wins for Arkansas baseball this weekend?
I think we get 2 out of 3. I think anyone who ever expects to ever sweep in the SEC, whether it's at home or especially on the road, is just probably not suited for baseball fandom. But unless unless Mississippi State suddenly figures everything out, I think we can do. I think the stadium is finally going to be rocking. I think we're finally going to have good enough weather and a good enough opponent to really make it the atmosphere.
Right.
That
It's not an opponent, Hognoxious, like Mizzou or like Kentucky. When Kentucky was the home series, that you just roll your eyes about and be like, are they really in this league? You know, Mississippi State winning last year's national championship, and you're always competing with them for the top of the division. Yeah. It's no eyes rolling for this series because you know it's going to be tough. Though the Hogs won 5 in a row from them, so we'll see. Hey, Hognoxious, if you're still there, I know we got to take a quick break, but last question. You watch baseball in a kilt. Do you garden in the kilt?
I do not garden in the kilt. Oh, heavens no.
Very good idea.
Only if there's a home run, yes.
Way too much bending over into the dirt for you. You're going to be wearing a kilt. Good to hear from you, Hognoxious. We'll see you at the ballpark tomorrow. 877-377-6963 if you want to give us your gardening wardrobe anytime soon. If you're looking for a job and if you're a quality fencer, a fence builder, or you have building experience, then get a hold of the Fence Man. They offer great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. And you can apply at the Fence Man right now, in person in Fort Smith at 1213 North 32nd Street. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer. Halftime, we'll wrap up the first hour right after this.
I can't take anymore without you. You let me down again. Baby, try to find a little time and I'll make you happy. I'll be home, I'll be beside the phone waiting for you. Why do you build me up, burning up, baby, just to let me down?
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 20. Support for the Hit That Line Podcast Network is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer to you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. And my family jewels just got added into that number because I just got my new Performance Package 4.0. And let me tell you what, guys, it is a game changer. If you're like me, you've tried other ways of daily grooming, of staying in shape, of when that time is right, you know what I mean, of how to make sure you look good down there. You've tried the razors, you've tried the knockoff brands, but it does not compare to what you're going to get in the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. You're going to get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You're going to get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag for all your goodies. Trust me, I didn't think that there was going to be a product out there that was going to make it safe to go down there. But with the Lawnmower 4.0 and everything else that comes in this package from Manscaped, you're going to be shaving and grooming so much safer. Get that 20% off and free shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use HTL. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only two means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these two ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all three will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
It's that time of year as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. If you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest, where you can have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's BLEAV. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Bet online, where the game starts.
Listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Okay, it is snowing in Fayetteville. I'm looking out the window here at the Palatial Studio Estates. Yeah, we've got intermittent big flakes, maybe 5 of them swirling around outside this window. This better not last.
No snow in the River Valley. So
let's keep it that way the rest of the day just for you guys.
I appreciate that. I don't want to see snow anymore. I hate snow in the first place. Unless I'm hitting the slopes, bro, I don't want to see no snow.
Never been skiing.
Really?
Over here. Never. Been water skiing. Decent water skier.
Yeah.
I've even been able to get up on one ski for water skiing.
Ever wakeboard?
I have wakeboarded.
Okay.
I have never snow skied. I have never snowboarded.
They say that's a good hobby to pick up in your mid-40s.
Isn't it, though? Yeah, because my knees and ankles are in perfect
prime condition
health
for it
right now. Yes. It's probably going to be something I never do in my life, ever.
I don't think I've been snow skiing since I was like 9. Like, we used to go all the time because my dad's family, part of their family's from Reno, so they're big, snow skiers out there. Out in Tahoe and in the mountains. And I think about the time that me and my brother both were playing competitive baseball, 9 months out of the year. It's kind of hard to plan a skiing trip. But I'm a better wakeboarder than I am skier on water skier. And I can't explain why. Water skiing should be so much easier. But for some reason with water skiing, I never want to stand straight up. I always want to just be flat out, have my back just straight on, and I just look weird. So I look cooler wakeboarding, so that's what I do.
It's all about how cool you look.
Exactly. And I haven't done that since high school anyways.
I just don't even like the idea of you in a bathing suit with a shirt off anyway, Drew. So
you don't want to see all this?
I don't know which direction to go in that. Yeah, but I had all my friends growing up. They went skiing. Not even little ski resorts outside Pittsburgh, but you got mountains out that way and plenty of snow. Mm-hmm. I never went. It's because my parents never took me. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Ruined all this fun. I could have gone to Vail and enjoyed going down the hills and all of that. But no. You got me interested in baseball and basketball and radio, and I would have much rather tried my hand at Olympic snow skiing. It would have been my future.
You might not have made the Olympics, but you could have at least been a ski bum out in Breckenridge or somewhere out in Colorado for a few years.
Why couldn't my parents have turned me on to curling? I would have been a great curler.
Oh, I can see it. I can see you're really good at sliding things.
Yes, you're very good with placing rocks in intermittent places on a target.
People always tell me that.
Natural ability. You just need to go. You just need to pick it up now.
Some people have to work their whole life to get there. Some people are born with it. What can I say?
Drew, your friends who were getting married, they were trying to figure out this wedding hashtag for. Have they realized that there is a small town in this lovely state of Arkansas named Romance?
I do not know if they know that because I personally did not know that.
There is a Romance, Arkansas, which, come on now. You want to think there's been some weddings held in Romance, Arkansas from people that had never stepped foot there until they got engaged?
Oh, I'm get married in Toadsuck.
Well, that's probably the best place to get divorced, Maddie.
You can get. I mean, I've tried to convince Caroline to go into one of those get married shops in Eureka Springs, but no, she wants to have a big production about it.
Is there a town named Booger around here?
Booger Hollow.
Booger Hollow.
If there was a state that had
there.
Booger in it, I know for a fact it's Arkansas. Weirdest names in the world.
The two places in the state of Arkansas, best places to get married would be Romance and Hope, because you're feeling all of these wonderful feelings the day of the wedding.
Or you could go to Gay Prairie, Arkansas.
That could work just
that could work too.
I think they just call it Paris, though.
Yes, Dustin, I'm very well aware of that name in Pennsylvania, where something that might happen at the end of the night after the wedding is complete and all the guests are in their rooms and all of that. Yes, I know the name of that town.
And you know, Dustin, it wasn't called that until Phil visited one time. They had to change the name.
I don't even feel like it wouldn't get me in trouble saying it, and I've said other things on this show.
So why don't
stop now?
Yeah.
Well, there's a town in Pennsylvania named Intercourse. It's a lovely place to drive through and maybe get married and maybe get something else going on. I don't know. 877-377-6963. Our course takes us into the second hour on halftime. Stay with us.
Nobody will pay more for your trade than Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Troy, you got to keep the lot full. That means you're buying trades today, or if you're just looking to get out of a vehicle, you got an extra car, you'll outright pay cash today.
Yes, definitely. You want to come down here, you want to get a check, bring me your title with your lien release, I'll give you a check right now. The checkbook is open. We are Harry Robinson. We're home of the more for your trade. We want to hold to that. We want to give you more money for the vehicle that you're trading in. So it doesn't even matter if you're not buying from us. If you're buying somewhere else, still give us the opportunity to buy your vehicle. We do this constantly throughout the days. We're still giving more money for your vehicle than any other dealer is around here. So come down here and see us 5 to 10 minutes, do a quick appraisal, and I promise you'll be surprised.
A lot of people trading right now to get a better gas-saving vehicle.
Yes, and we've got those in stock too. So we've got cars lined up from the front all the way to the back of the lot. We've got the inventory. We want to give you more for your vehicle, and come down here and get you an awesome deal.
Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Stop by your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith, where it's happy hour all day, every day. $4 cocktails, $5 wines, and $2 draft beers. It's free to join Friday's rewards. Get free chips and salsa or $3 off any appetizer. And this weekend, get the madness kicked off with 25% off party platters and family meal bundles to go. Just go to Fridays.com to order. It's your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny to partly cloudy skies. Our high temperatures today will be in the upper 40s north, near 60 south. A decrease in the cloud cover tonight, no night low in the mid-30s. Friday, lots of sunshine, our high in the mid to upper 60s. And Saturday, an increase in the sun, our high near 70. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. Proceed. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Second hour of halftime. We've got Bob Holt joining us in 30 minutes. And to push back things a little bit because Dave Van Horn is, I think by now he would have been done speaking to the media. It was about an hour ago. Baseball tomorrow through Sunday. Good luck to Arkansas Gymnastics in Norman, Oklahoma today as they take on number 1 OU, Arizona and Arizona State in the regional semifinal. 18th ranked Razorbacks. Good luck there. Got softball playing Ole Miss this weekend and a lot of stuff going on. The NFL football season is officially crazy. It's been crazy for a long time, but now the news of Bruce Arians' not retirement. He already had one retirement, if I remember properly. When he left the Steelers as the offensive coordinator, they said he was retiring. That was a press release that Arians, I think, had no part in. The next thing you know, he's a head coach.
Didn't he also kind of retire from Arizona before he picked up the Tampa Bay job too?
So there were two. So he's not going to use that word. You can't use that word, especially
because he's still working.
Well, and also because, what just happened with Tom Brady. Nobody's going to believe anything about retirement involving the Tampa Bay Bucks anytime soon. But with a little bit of like a recap of the things that have been crazy that have happened in the NFL offseason as we go through this hour. Some baseball stuff too. Still trying to figure out this wedding, this Arkansas hashtag wedding. Calvert's got a good one. Hashtag officially Arkansan.
I like that one.
I think that's a good one.
It's pretty good, Calvert.
That one will go near the top of the list.
That's going up there with Stacy's.
So for those who are unaware of the situation, Drew's got a friend that he's. Is this when you're the marrying reverend?
No, I'm not. I'm not in this wedding. I've only met the bride to be. I don't believe I've met the husband. And this is one of Caroline's good friends, but his last name is Arkansas, and they're getting married, and they wanted to take suggestions for their silly little wedding hashtag because they are silly, but we're millennials and we're silly people, so we got to do it.
So we'll take your ideas on that as well as 877-377-6963. You got thoughts on Arkansas basketball signing Trevon Brazile from Mizzou? And who you think may be on the way out, if J.D., Jalen, or Audie's Tony will come back, or if they're going to try their hand at the next level. You can be any part of it. So it's up to you what you want to talk about. We've got Charlie on hold here. It's been a couple of days here, Charlie. Where you been? You okay?
So y'all telling me I can talk about what I want to talk about. Like, I was thinking, you guys are talking about retiring. I wonder if I can. Are you guys suggesting that I can come in tomorrow and per the Halftime Live, Drew Barrett, Phil Elson, the great Matty T, and say all three of you guys said that I could announce my retirement? Now, I'm only 29, and maybe next week change my mind. Is that what you guys are saying?
Well, think of how many.
That's how the world works nowadays. Apparently.
Think of how many professional athletes actually announce a retirement at the age of 29. There are more than a few of them. So if you want to put yourself in that category, Charlie, go ahead.
I'm trying. I was thinking, Brett Favre, but Lord, he's 37, 40, 45. He retired like 5 times. I don't know. So I was kind of thinking along the lines of him. But anyway, no, in all seriousness, Phil, I was going to piggyback on what you just talked about. Big signing by Arkansas, bringing in Brazile. I think he's a perfect fit, because he's a guy that I think, at 6'9". I know he's not the biggest guy, but he's long and he can move his feet. I think he's a guy that, defensively, rebounding, blocking shots, athletic-wise, really helps us because one thing I think he can do is one thing about Muss, he likes to recruit these guys that I feel like can guard multiple positions.
I agree, Charlie. And when in order to do that, and I think you see this with Devo, you certainly saw this with Moses Moody, and those are different players because those are wings, and Brazil's a forward, but he's got a very long wingspan. I read in Richard Davenport's report in the Democrat today that the wingspan for this kid who's 6'9", the wingspan is 7'1", or maybe a little bit larger. So, that tells me that he's got the ability to get up and extend. And it's, when you got that kind of wingspan, you're able to make deflections defensively too, and that's such a big part of it. So I feel like the fact that he's got this wingspan, I think he's going to play taller than the 6'9", but at 215 pounds, he doesn't have all the weight of a guy that you would say is like a power forward or anything like that. But it seems like he's a rim protector who's got, just a lot more athleticism than the guy who was sitting on the bench for the last couple of months that might have possibly been somewhat of a rim protector too.
Well, and I agree with you, Phil. I think also, hold on a second, this idiot in his wheelchair, he literally just pulled out in front of me in the road.
We're putting drivers on blast here on halftime today, Charlie.
No, this guy
is that wheelchair even street legal?
I mean, it is in Harrison, Arkansas, man. I'm down here in South Arkansas, anything's legal. You hear me? You come down here, you'll see what I mean. No, but seriously, Phil, I definitely agree with you 100%. I think, you're talking about a guy with the length like that, not only deflections, but he might get beat off the dribble, but when you're long like that, you can recover and block shots from behind and those type of things. I read this little report here, and I think I don't know how, accurate it is, but he says he's accurate. Tony 50-50, what's his name is choosing Fardas Amwak between Iowa, Texas Tech, and Arkansas. I don't know how accurate that is. Jay Will, depending on if he gets a first-round grade, he's gone. He has not gotten one yet. JD does not want to go overseas because what the hell's going on over there right now is crazy. Mm-hmm. So he might come back because of the grade on him. They don't know. And then he tried to say that, he already knew Brazil was coming. Because he was on campus before it was reported. But I don't know how accurate this guy is. Anyway, my point is there's one name in here that sticks out, Jackson Robinson, coming back because of his relationship with Coach Muss. And I love that. I think having a guy like that, you got all these guys coming in that are highly recruited. These guys need competition. They need to compete. And I've always loved that about kids. Jackson ain't just going to give the job. He's going to want to play. So I'm excited about that. I think anytime you can put competition, in a room full of McDonald's All-Americans and make them compete, they got to earn their spot now. They got to defend, they got to rebound. So
Charlie, you're right about that. Charlie, when you think about like what the practices are going to be like when these guys are back and now on the same, and we've got all this scholarship situation figured out, and what the roster looks like when practice begins in October. That's going to be hardcore basketball these guys are playing against each other.
Those are going to be more exciting games than some of the non-conference games they're going to play.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a ticket to some of those than to watch them play, North Texas or something.
Like the red-white game will be ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
So you're right, too. I mean, the best want to compete against the best. And that doesn't just go to – you come to play for Arkansas, you're playing LSU, you're playing Alabama, you're playing everybody in the SEC and so on and so forth, but you also compete against your teammates for playing time. And right now, the way things are looking, there might not be many other basketball teams in the nation next year that have a roster that is put together any better than Eric Musselman's Arkansas Razorbacks are right now, or at least what they will look like in October, which right now we're just sort of throwing something to the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah, just got to see how everything meshes together. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some work, but you have faith that Eric Musselman is able to mess all the pieces together to get the clearest picture of a successful basketball team that he can, because he's proven in the past that he can restructure rosters, restructure pieces around to work either through transfer portal, but now hopefully you can do the same thing with high school kids as freshman recruits. So you have faith that it's going to happen, but still got to wait and see exactly how everything meshes out, how, playing time really does get distributed, because there is one ball, there is only 40 minutes, and hopefully everybody's going to be able to buy in. That's the thing when you have these recruits, these 4 or 5-star guys. It's easy on the front end to say, I'm all team, I'm bought in, until your minutes get cut, until you're not getting as good of a role as you thought you were, until you're now coming off the bench instead of in the starting 5. It's real easy to say, I'm bought in and I'm 100% Arkansas until there's adversity. Now, hopefully these kids and these athletes are bought in and, truly trust Eric Musselman's vision and his system, that when those things happen, they stay focused, they stay locked in, they do the best that they can, with the minutes that they get, and don't shut down. But you've seen it go both ways throughout college athletics, because ultimately these are 18-year-old kids. And emotionally, they're not the most, stable creatures on the planet. And basketball and sports in general, it's an emotional thing. So hopefully everything's going to work out.
So you don't want to have anybody mess with your money, right?
No.
You don't mess with your minutes. Don't mess with my minutes, man.
Minutes equals money, too, especially with NIL deal and draft.
It does. Michael in Van Buren's giving us a call, so let's take that phone call and then the break. Michael, you're up. What's going on?
Yeah, first-time caller. Glad to hear you. I love y'all's show.
No, appreciate it, Michael.
Appreciate you dialing us up.
Arkansas, it just feels natural.
I like it.
Arkansas hashtag, it just feels natural.
That is good.
That one fits.
Michael,
okay.
You're up to the top of the list. You're in the top 3 right now.
Jacob in Russellville sent one in a hashtag Arkansas for life. Now, I know you're saying it's life when you get married. So that's a hashtag that would go along with it very well. And it works for Razorback fans, too, doesn't it?
I thought that, too, my first marriage. I'll tell you, with the recruiting that Eric Musselman has coming in, I would love to see it all work out and to get back to 40 minutes of hell where we're just sub people in and out and everybody's fresh at the end of the game like it used to be. Wouldn't that be great? That's all I got. Thanks.
Michael, you make a point.
Appreciate it, Michael.
Just based upon, let's just say that JD and Jalen and Tony come back. And now you have this ridiculously talented recruiting class. And then you have your 3 top players from last year, another Elite 8 run. And, Michael, I think you hit on something that would make a lot of sense. Because, you really were like 6 to 6.5, maybe 7 guys that were getting the minutes this year. And it's not like Arkansas ever, for me, looked tired or anything like that. But
well-conditioned, but
for a
you'd
team
like to have more options, though.
Yeah, well, just for a team that's defense-oriented first, it's nice to have options off the bench. We're projecting a little bit with Anthony Black. We're projecting with Darian Ford, with Nick Smith, with Jordan Walsh, with Dunning, and with Pinion, because they're still high schoolers, and you never quite know what you're going to get. But if they're anything close to as good as advertised, they need to be on the court too. All right, we got Cecil with us. We're going to take his call after the break. So let's remind you that it is a Thursday, and at Joe's Grilling Cantina on Thursday, they got a great All-American special. Barbecue pork sandwich with one side. It's just $7. Also $7 for their classic burger with one side. And domestic long necks are just $2.50. That's all day long at Joe's Grilling Cantina in Fort Smith. The weekday happy hour begins at 3, ends at 6. You'll get Paquito nachos for $4 and house margaritas $3 during that time. Baseball on TV tomorrow means half-price apps and taps. That'll be all weekend long at Joe's Grilling Cantina. You can download the Waiter app to order. You can also order at joesportsmith.com or just give him a visit across from the Harps. And halftime back with phone calls, and we've got Bob Holt coming up in about 15 minutes, so stay tuned.
Well, she got gold mine, I got the share. They split it all down the middle, and then they give her the better half. Well, I guess it all sounds funny, but it hurts too much to laugh. She got
to share.
You know what that alligator would say? After eating me, I just had a bite of the youngest sports talk radio host in Arkansas.
I loved your guys' intro. Got me all fired up. Long-time listener, listen to you guys every day. Been listening since day one.
Because you know what BOAT stands for, right? Bust out another 1,000. That was good Lord, man.
I'm trying to get rid of this moth.
Well, can we do it sometime other in the middle of the segment?
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and Hit That Line.
Support for the Hit That Line Podcast Network is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer to you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. And my family jewels just got added into that number because I just got my new Performance Package 4.0. And let me tell you what, guys, it is a game changer. If you're like me, you've tried other ways of daily grooming, of staying in shape, of when that time is right, you know what I mean, of how to make sure you look good down there. You've tried the razors, you've tried the knockoff brands, but it does not compare to what you're going to get in the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. You're going to get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You're going to get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag for all your goodies. Trust me, I didn't think that there was going to be a product out there that was going to make it safe to go down there. But with the Lawnmower 4.0 and everything else that comes in this package from Manscaped, you're going to be shaving and grooming so much safer. Get that 20% off and free shipping with the code HTL at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use HTL. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only two means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these two ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all three will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
It's that time of year as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. If you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest, where you can have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's BLEAV. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Bet online, where the game starts.
On Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
now we've got legit snow in Fayetteville. This is not good. And these are big flakes. It's coming down steady. It's coming down hard. It's coming down. It's not even coming down. It's coming down sideways.
Is it sticking?
I don't think it's going to stick. It's just not cold enough. But I guess it's cold enough up in the sky to generate snow. And it stays in one piece as it makes it to the ground.
Well, high tomorrow is 67, right?
Good, yeah.
Fayetteville?
Mm-hmm. We'll have baseball all weekend. Not going to have to worry about it all that much. Good. We have to worry about Cecil's phone call. No, we always love it when Cecil calls in.
You know what Cecil says about the weather in Arkansas?
If you don't like it, just wait 10 minutes.
That's right.
Is it 10 minutes or 5 minutes?
That's a Cecil quote.
Okay. Cecil, is that something that you're known for saying?
Oh, yeah, no diggity, no doubt. Hey, actually, we got the best weather in America.
We do?
We can wear a jacket one day, a coat the next day, shorts the next day, tank top the next day.
Well, good. It's all about staying prepared, staying accessorized properly.
Got to be ready. Got to be ready. Hey, I was listening in, and y'all was talking about the players, and we have a lot of talent on the team. Man, I'm really happy for this because, hey, look here, it's bringing it back on the hill, and so this is how I see it. We just gonna blow out everybody, and everybody get to play. Or somebody
That's one way to look at
off.
it.
Or somebody's going to be pissed off. Excuse my French.
That's okay. We've said it on the show here, too.
Yeah, I hear you cussing all the time. Boy, y'all, look here, y'all be having me, you don't know, but I'll be laughing. Boy, y'all just have me going every day, man. But, yeah, you know, like I say, what's the bald-headed kid name?
Jordan Walsh.
Yeah.
Man, he's long, and man, I looked at him. I'm like, wow, he can really play back. Because actually, when I was watching the McDonald All-American, when I turned it on, I didn't even know that we had that guy. I'm like, man, he's good. I wonder where he's going. Right in Fayetteville.
It feels like a talent level. It feels like a talent level, Cecil, that I don't. And I've lived in Arkansas 22 years and seen some pretty talented players come through, but it does feel like a collection of talent that stands apart. And that's even perhaps without JD or Jalen, just based upon the reports of these kids. But if JD and Jalen and Tony stick around, or if two of them stick around, or even one of them stick around, man, it feels like a talent level that I'm not sure if we've had here, just for a full roster all at once in a long time.
Right. But that's kind of bad when you have to and I'm not saying this in a bad way. It's like man, I wish dude just go ahead and go pro, man, so we can get these other guys in. Or, it might be some friction at the point guard position, because, we got some better talent coming in. We don't know if they're better or not, but as we seeing it, you don't even know. So it could be good, it could be bad. I just want everything to be great, though. But I'm wishing everybody, if Jalen go pro, Jalen being hard to come by, man. Just like I said about Joe Klein, Slater, Missouri, Joe Klein, that's my guy. He was a big fundamental guy, and he played like 20 years. Scott Hastings did the same thing. He played 18 or 20 years. Matter of fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, he's still with the Denver Nugget organization, if I'm not mistaken. But all our big men, they play. Big men are hard to come by. If you just got the fundamentals of the game down, you're gonna stay in the league a long time.
I think you make a valid point, Cecil. Like we had a text from a listener earlier in the show that asked, who would be more difficult to replace. And this is kind of like the same conversation we had, I think, in the middle of February, Drew, about is J.D. Note or is Jalen Williams the most valuable player on this team? I feel like it's not like scoring guards grow on trees, but Nick Smith seems like someone who's going to be a pretty high-scoring guard at this level. I think Darian Ford potentially too. It just feels like the things that Jalen Williams does, it is really difficult to duplicate from somebody else. Not just the charges, but to be in the right position at the right time on other defensive plays, to have a big man that passes so well like he does and can handle the rock a little bit and has just a little bit of that touch from the outside. Like I just feel like that would be the more difficult of the two players to replace.
Right. Jalen was playing, when he was just playing ball here in Fort Smith, he handled the ball a lot, and that just and then he just started growing. So he just kind of grew into handling the basketball. You know,
it's been pretty
like
obvious.
Scottie Pippen did. You know, he wasn't that tall at all when he went to UCA, but he grew 5, 6, 7 inches or whatever he was, and he could really handle the rock, and he could shoot too, though. So that just makes it better. I saw some other guy. Oh my God, I was just watching him the other day, and boy, he was 7 foot and could dribble that ball like he was 5'11". I'm like, wow. So, like I say, sometimes your talent level is all the way up to par, and sometimes it ain't. But those tall guys that can shoot free throws and rebound good, they're really hard to come by. Jalen takes charges. Jalen's a good kid, man, and he's gonna go a long way. But anyway, guys, y'all have a blessed weekend. I enjoy y'all every day.
Okay, thanks,
Appreciate
Cecil.
it, Cecil.
Always appreciate hearing from you. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting skill set that Jalen has. Really good defender, terrific rebounder, great passer. I mean, you don't hear the word point forward in college basketball all that often. And someone there's room to grow offensively for him. I don't think we've seen Jalen's best outside shot yet. I think that can improve. And I just feel like somebody with that kind of athleticism for that size, I think there's a little room for him to grow on the offensive end of things.
I think there is, too. I think he needs to get a little bit more confidence in his shot. You saw a lot of times, especially down the end of the stretch to the end of the season, where he had some open threes, had some open jumpers, and looked around, tried to distribute it instead of kind of trusting his shot. And he's come up with big shots and big threes throughout the season. I think that offensively, he needs to be a little bit more confident in his game for what he brings, to the offensive side of the ball outside of underneath rebounding and second chance shots and, going up with it. And once he gets that, he's going to be a great all-around player. I think he already is a really good overall player. And I know you said, what he does and not even considering the charges, but how many guys do you know that have the mentality of being able to take almost 60 charges in a season?
I don't think we'll see that again.
That's not just toughness. That's a mentality. And not everybody has it. That's not something everybody's born with. You're born being able to do that.
Watching a couple of the tournament games, the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 with my kids in Columbia, and my daughter Sadie kept saying, "Why is that guy always on the floor? Why does he always fall down on the floor?" It's like, well, he's trying to. He's letting him run him over, and he's really good at doing it. All right. Halftime brought to you by WT Equipment in Springdale. Used to be named Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, but they moved to Springdale after nearly 50 years and changed their name to WT Equipment. So WT Equipment is located right on the east side of the interstate between Don Tyson and Johnson exits. So stop by WT Equipment in Springdale and check them out. Much more exciting news to come because Williams Tractor in Fayetteville is now WT Equipment in Springdale, and you can visit them online at WTEquip.com. Bob Holt from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette joins halftime next.
Can't you see what I'm trying to say, darling? I'd rather have my blood sucked out by leeches. Shove an ice pick under a toenail or two. I'd rather clean all the bathrooms in Grand Central Station with my tongue than spend one more minute with you. Yes, I'd rather jump naked on a huge pile of thumbtacks or stick my nostrils together with crazy glue. I'd rather dive into a swimming pool filled with double-edged razor blades than spend one more minute with you. I'd rather rip my heart right out of my rib cage with my bare hands and then throw it on the floor and stomp on it till I die. Then spend one more minute with you.
Sports fans, it's March Madness. Where are you going to bet? I know where I will. BUSR, of course. NCAA basketball, NBA, MLB, you name it, they got it. Besides sports and racing, you can play over 300 casino games at BUSR.com. And remember, no download is needed to play these games. Sign up today and get an exclusive 100% deposit bonus by going to BUSR.com/morningrush. That's BUSR.com/morningrush. Bet with confidence. Bet with BUSR.
Hardworking simplicity and serious durability. That's the winning combination you get when you pair a rugged Workmaster utility tractor with a Dura-Disc heavy-duty disc mower, both from New Holland and Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas. You'll maximize the tonnage of your hayfields by slicing a clean, close swath up to 10 foot 4 inches wide, all while operating in confidence and comfort with a Workmaster tractor with high visibility all-weather cab. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas today to learn about this unstoppable New Holland team.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. People know where it is, always online, randallford.com. But no, maybe they don't know about the mobile service van. And we've talked about it a little bit, but for those who don't know, kind of explain it.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a wonderful way for you to be able to get your oil change done without having to do what? Sit in a lounge drinking cold coffee and warm water and eating bad pastries. Guys, you guys can pick up the phone, call us, set up an appointment. We will come out there. We can change your oil. We can take care of factory recalls. We can do almost everything needed to be done. We'll pop up a tent at your location, wherever you're at work or at home, within 30 miles. You guys give us a call for a little bit of added fee. You're going to be able to sit in the comfort of your own home and get your oil change taken care of. Here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or 24 hours a day at randallford.com.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
First Western wants to be your business banking partner. Over the last several years, First Western has invested in technology to make banking with them more convenient for you and your business. Their electronic banking services allow you to bank from the comfort of your home or office. Send and receive electronic payments, deposit checks, and much, much more. Contact a business banking specialist today at 479-936-2000 or visit them online at firstwestern.com/business. Member FDIC.
Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith is open and ready to care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store has COVID vaccinations available for ages 5 and up and the new second booster for ages 50 and up. These vaccines are safe and effective in preventing severe cases of COVID. Call 452-6116 to schedule your booster appointment or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Took a 911 about 107 down a back road where the White River runs and the southern sun makes a cousin grow.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
I think it's been a while since we talked to Bob Holt here in Fayetteville because he's been everywhere that the basketball team has been. Men's basketball, of course, he's been in Tampa for the SEC tournament. He was in Buffalo for rounds of 64 and 32. He was in San Francisco for the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, and would have been in New Orleans if Arkansas had defeated Duke. So, Bob, that's a lot of miles after basically covering from home for the previous 2 years. So many things are back to what feels like normal, but I don't know if that travel that you just did is normal for anybody.
Yeah, I'd taken a few driving trips, to Kansas City and Tulsa and North Little Rock, but hadn't flown in 2 years. Then all of a sudden I was flying, to Tampa and Buffalo and San Francisco, and it was definitely good to be back in person and be seated on the floor, and you really felt like you were right near the action. It was good to have in person the press conferences. We didn't get to go to the locker rooms, which I understand. They're still trying to be careful. Hopefully that's something that can return next year. But they did do the breakout interviews the day before the Duke game, where you had Eric and players at the press conference, and then you also could get players in breakouts. So all in all, I'd say it was a pretty good setup by the NCAA. That they really do a great job around that tournament. And whatever happens in the future, I sure hope that people that run the tournament keep running it, because they do. I think for the most part they do a really good job. But I'm not sure I've ever traveled like that. I remember back in the mid '90s when Arkansas would go to Final Fours. In '94 you drove to Oklahoma City, you drove to Dallas, then you flew to Charlotte, then I remember they played in Austin. So that's about as much travel in a condensed window I can remember, and I'm not getting any younger either.
Well, and no rest for the weary as far as that's concerned, because things with Arkansas basketball just continue to be, there's news almost every day now. You have Chance Moore transferring out. You've got Trevon Brazile transferring in, and every college basketball program is going to have interesting off seasons now with the transfer portal and just the way that rosters are constructed. But for Arkansas, maybe a little bit more interesting than most, certainly this year. And with Brazile coming in right now, there are 15 scholarship players when you count the 6 freshmen that are coming in next year, and there's only 13 scholarships. So we got to wait with bated breath on the decisions by J.D. Note and Jalen Williams and Au'Diese Toney as to whether or not they're going to come back. Is there any in your mind? Do you have a sense of which way either one of them could lean, or what do you think?
Well, I think in this day and age where you can, put your name to the draft, possibly get invited to the combine, and still withdraw your name, I don't know why a player wouldn't take advantage of that situation. Can you imagine if these football players could go to the combine, and if things didn't go well, they could withdraw their name, But in football, you don't have that luxury. Even in basketball, I think only 60 guys get invited to the combine, and it's not voted on by the media or the coaches. It's who the NBA people want to see. It's who the scouts and the coaches and GMs want to see, and you're including foreign players. And then sometimes guys who would be in that top 60, if they're obvious, lottery picks, their agents don't want them to go because they worry they might get hurt or have a bad showing and hurt their status. It's kind of like candidates who are heading the polls don't want to do debates, because they feel like they can always screw up or something, I guess. But I think that, if you're Jalen and JD, I don't know why, or Au'Diese for that matter, I don't know why you wouldn't enter your name, get some feedback. They're going to get feedback, from Eric anyway and his NBA contacts. But to me, if you go to the combine and just, experience that, even if you're pretty sure you're coming back to college, how big an advantage is that next year if you think you're going to be, going in the draft, to have already been to the combine and kind of know your way around and gone through interviews. So I don't know why any players, Arkansas or guys at other places wouldn't do that. So I would expect those guys to all enter the draft and then, keep their options open, not sign with an agent and all that kind of stuff. But just for the experience, even if you're pretty sure you're coming back, I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that.
No, I'm with you, Bob. I think that it's a great opportunity for them. Like you said, even if they know they're coming back, it at least gives them a trial run before, everything is on the line. Kind of learn what to do in the interviews, learn how to properly do everything in the combine so that you don't mess up, that you don't hurt your chances to get drafted. It's basically a free trial run. So I think it's great. But outside of those 3 guys that, have the potential of entering the draft and, either getting drafted or coming back before the deadline to pull your name out, there's going to be more guys exiting this team. Which who of kind of like the 3 or 4, between Jackson Robinson, KK Robinson, and Connor Vanover, would you be most shocked to see stay?
Well, honestly, I'd be surprised to see any of them stay, but just based on playing time, I think they're all good guys, and I'm sure they've improved and everything. But when you're not playing, especially in this day and age with the portal, if you're not playing, I don't know why you wouldn't make a move. But I guess out of those 3, I'd probably be shocked. The guy, I'd be most shocked if KK Robinson was back. But honestly, those 3 guys and Lance Chance Moore, I mean, just watching how the season played out, you figured all 4 of those guys are probably going to go into the portal. I'm not saying they should. I mean, if they're happy here, and if Eric says, hey, I can't promise you any playing time, but you're a great practice player, and we appreciate, what you contribute to the program. But with the players they got coming in, I mean, Arkansas honestly ought to be better next year than they were this year, And then you're talking about a bunch of freshmen coming in. Now, some of those guys are going to be one-and-dones. I don't necessarily think, you can assume everybody's always a one-and-done guy. And then, a player like Moses Moody, you think, well, wow, he's really good, but he's probably going to play here at least a couple of years, and then he's a one-and-done guy. You can't really project all that. But, yeah, there's definitely going to be player movement going out of the program, and I think all you have to do is look at the numbers, look at the guys that didn't hardly play. I mean, Connor played, a fair amount last year, and he played some early, but really the last part of the season he barely played at all. So, I'm sorry it didn't work out better for him. I think it's funny. I think he would have played his very first year, his redshirt year. I think he might have played more then than he ever has because they were so small, but it didn't work out that way for him, unfortunately. But I think those are all good guys and all good players, and they could definitely play somewhere. I just don't see them how they're going to play here with the players they have coming in.
Mm-hmm. And, Bob, do you think that, obviously the big pickup yesterday with Trayvon Brazile, 6'9" guy, has the shot blocking ability, can play down low. Is he the answer for Arkansas in their kind of down low issues that we saw cause them a little woes this season, kind of putting everything on Jalen Williams to be the guy to have that down low presence? Or do you think that Musselman's not done and he's going to go get another, 6'10" plus guy, the big body that can impose their will on him?
I'm not sure Eric's ever done with recruiting his crew. Yeah, I know they've got, whose name escapes me, I guess the big kid from Utah Valley State, I think it is, who's got really great numbers, and he seems to be a guy everybody's interested in. But, yeah, I think Brazile's a great pickup. I mean, if you just read off his stats from his freshman year, they don't jump off at the page at you. But I watched him play those last 2 games in Tampa against, I guess it was Ole Miss and LSU, and he was really impressive. He's a kid who missed the first 6 or 7 games with some kind of undisclosed leg injury or something. And then, so he got off to a bit of a slow start, but he was really coming on. I mean, I think he had 15 and 10 or something against LSU. He's got great length. You can look at his frame, see he's got a lot of room to add weight. He just seems real elastic or something, if you want to call it that, the way he can protect the rim. And I just think he's got a huge upside. I mean, to me, that's a great pickup for Arkansas. Also, anytime you get somebody who's played in the SEC, so he understands the speed of the game at this level, he understands the intensity, he's played in the arenas, he's gone against the other players. I think if you can pick up a guy from another SEC team, that's really a plus. So to pick up a kid who went to Missouri and was playing really well and has a lot of athleticism, and you see how guys improve. And I think that's why kids want to come here, or a big reason why they do, is they see how they develop. I mean, you see how Moses Moody came in as a highly touted high school guy, but he wasn't a top 15 guy, and then he goes 14 in the draft. You see how much Jalen Williams improved, see how much Devo improved. You see how a guy like Justin Smith, who was doing okay at Indiana, comes in here and just goes crazy, And so I think Brazile's a great pickup, but, yeah, I expect they'd love to get another big guy too.
I know you, Bob, you were on a Zoom press conference or at the press conference with Dave Van Horn today previewing the Mississippi State baseball series. I saw a couple of things on Twitter about it, and I guess the thing that stands out is Jace Borfin transferred from Oklahoma last year and has been out for the last 2.5 weeks with a shoulder injury, will be on the roster. Did Dave say anything about maybe getting him in the lineup? I mean, on the roster and the lineup are two different things.
Yeah, he wasn't real specific, but I assume if you put a kid on a roster, that means you're hopeful he can play. Obviously, you don't want to push it, and this God, this weather's pretty crazy. I hope it gets always better for the weekend. I haven't really seen the forecast. Or maybe they need a retractable roof at Baum-Walker Stadium. Yeah, he said he'd be on the roster. Actually, the first part of the Zoom was a little hard to understand. I was on the Zoom part. But yeah, I don't believe he said he would, like he had a specific role for him. One thing, they do have pretty good outfield depth, so they have some options there, obviously.
Isn't it amazing how starting pitching is now the dominant portion of this team? And really with Brady Tygart, I think, closing games, pitching is the strength of this team, pitching and fielding. And I think it was hitting and fielding last year in Kevin Kopps. This right now, I mean, this is probably the best overall Arkansas pitching staff since the 2019 College World Series team, at least now. I mean, you got another 2 months.
Well, yeah, I think they're definitely deeper in pitching last year. I mean, it's great to have Kevin Kopps. He's almost having like 3 guys or something with the way he could throw and come and start and have long relief, close. He was such a dynamic pitcher. And so I think he's doing pretty well in spring training from what I can tell, a little bit I've seen. But, yeah, I just think they're deeper, and especially with losing, Peyton Paulette at the start of the year, you think, wow, there's the number 1 guy, first-round draft pick, but not that they couldn't use him or would love to have him, but it's impressive to me that what they put together because, they still have a very strong staff, even with the expected number 1 guy, being out for the year.
All right, we'll leave it there, Bob. Appreciate your time as always. Thank you, and maybe see you at Baum-Walker this weekend.
I think I'll be out there for some, but Tom Murphy's been Mr. Baseball, so I'll just do what he tells me to do.
Oh, you're Mr. Everything, Bob. That's for sure.
Appreciate it, Bob.
That is for sure. Hey, you got the Final Four coming up on Saturday, national championship game on Monday. You get the best odds at BUSR.com. They've been doing the bracket contest as well. I can't get into that, but you can also gamble on every other game going on in any sport. Got a sports book, race book, live casino. The bets are safe, fun, and secure. You can even play blackjack at BUSR.com. Plus, ESPN Arkansas listeners qualify for an exclusive 100% deposit bonus. Put in $100, get $100. Simple as that. Go to BUSR.com/morningrush to get your 100% deposit bonus. Bet with confidence. Bet with BUSR. And halftime wraps up after this.
Great news, sports fans. Bentley Sportsbook from Southland Casino is the only online sportsbook live in Arkansas. Visit Bentley.com today to sign up and cash in on your up to $250 risk-free first bet. Bentley Online Sports Betting delivers easy action and real paydays. You can place bets on pro and amateur sports, including college basketball. At Bentley, BETLY.com, you can bet on all the local favorites and get paid in cash for your winners. Bring all the easy action home with Bentley Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas to bet. Play responsibly. For help winning, call 800-522-4700.
Fishing never stops. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle has everything from jigs to raincoats, Todd Huckabee crappie rods, Bobby Garland crappie jigs, and stay warm and dry with a River West rain suit, the area's largest selection of Zoom plastics, Flash Mob Jr., Kitech swim baits, Mega Bass rods, plus rattle traps, life jackets, and rod and reel repair. Find all the top brands and everything you need at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has 2 locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
COVID-19 cases are spreading across the state. Safe, effective, and free COVID vaccines are now readily available for all Arkansans ages 5 and up. Booster shots are also available for fully vaccinated people 12 and above. The vaccines are highly effective at preventing severe COVID. That means helping keep you from being hospitalized or even dying. Get vaccinated to protect yourself, your family, and your community. Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
Carco Auto Sales takes great pride in serving Fort Smith, the River Valley, and eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years, offering a variety of quality, late model, low mileage vehicles at unbeatable values. The friendly and knowledgeable staff can help you find the car you deserve, priced to fit your budget. Carco Auto Sales will purchase your vehicle as well. Come see the team at 2810 Midland Boulevard or give them a call at 783-1722. Check them out online at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Spring is here and Breeden RV is having the first sale of the year. New inventory is arriving weekly and is immediately priced to sell. Just like new Keystone Springdale starting at $164 a month. Need something for your toys? Breeden RV has new toy haulers starting at $239 a month. And don't forget about the exclusive maintenance for life on all new RVs. Breeden RV also has the best selection of pre-owned RVs in the River Valley. Fully prepped and ready to camp. Give the service department a call at 479-262-2418 and get your RV ready for a great year. Breeden RV, where adventure begins. See dealer for complete details.
Get back in there at once and sell!
Is this the right decision? Living with an aging parent can bring stress, uncertainty, and guilt. Ease those emotions and trust that they are safe and happy at Dalton's Place at Waldron. Living in this community improves the health, nutrition, and housing for your loved one, regardless of income. Private apartments allow your mom or dad to keep their independence while their health is always monitored. Contact us today to see if your loved one qualifies. Dalton's Place at Waldron, 520 West 2nd Street. Your well-being first.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, you really got me now.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Hey, you know, it's a Thursday. That means 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge is open tonight, and they're going to get you going until midnight, open till 1 o'clock over the weekend. 906 Garrison Avenue is the place to visit. They'll have Derek Jordan from 7 until 10. Derek Jordan is a guitarist, singer from Chakota, Oklahoma, and that is at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Go to their Facebook page for other events. The menu's at 906.com. Great food, great drinks, and the best cigars anywhere in the state of Arkansas that you won't even smell like because they replace the air every 4 minutes at 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. All right, what do we have for our wedding hashtags? You got any that are standing out for you, Drew?
The ones that I have sent to the missus to send to her friend. The ones that stood out to me are officially Arkansan.
I like that one.
Big Rock, Arkansas.
This is somebody who is marrying a fellow whose last name is Arkansas.
Exactly. Arkansas that coming, because I like a good pun. And Arkansas, it just feels natural.
We got one from Jamie May. Now, you need the word Arkansas in it for
Yeah.
it to fit, because we've got our natural state, used to be the land of opportunity as well, but that doesn't say Arkansas. So I like the natural marriage one, Jamie May, who texted this one in, but it just doesn't say Arkansas.
It doesn't.
So
and
it just doesn't
like I
quite
said,
work.
I don't even know if they're Arkansas fans or have really any connection to Arkansas outside of the last name.
And this is the wedding that you are officiating, right?
No. I'm not. I don't even know if I'm invited to this one. Caroline will be invited. I'm sure I'll be a +1. Like I've only met the bride to be one time.
And yet you are giving her hashtag for her wedding here.
Well,
this is a lot of responsibility for somebody that you've met once. You need to be getting paid for this.
Well, who better to ask about a hashtag that involves the word Arkansas than the entire state of Arkansas?
Well,
I mean, she couldn't. She doesn't have the opportunity to talk to the masses the way that I do every day. So I figured I'd help her out.
Can you convince them to have their wedding maybe in Murfreesboro, Arkansas, where the diamond mine is low, the only public diamond mine in the entire, I think, is it the eastern or the northern hemisphere, or is it the whole world? I forget which one. Have you ever been down there, Drew?
I have been there one time, yes.
I've lived in this state my entire life, and I've never even been there.
It didn't go well.
I was gonna say
Not well at all.
you either spend your day just in a giant like dirt pit,
Mm-hmm.
or you find a diamond. Most likely, you're just gonna spend the day in a dirt pit.
I had a rather unique experience at the diamond mine in Murfreesboro. You remember when the United States Mint had their series of state quarters?
Of course, yes.
Right, and when they debuted the Arkansas State Quarter, it was debuted at the diamond mine, the public diamond mine in Murfreesboro.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, I was working for the Travelers, and I'd written a story about being a mascot for all the teams I'd worked for, called "The Art of Being Goofy in a Furry Suit." Well,
Nice.
Phil's a furry.
Someone had forced to be a furry. It was not my decision.
Okay.
Yes, they say
You
this
were
is what
getting
you're going to
paid
do
for it.
today at the ball game. Thank you very much. May I have another? And they realize you're better than the person that they pay to do it, and then you just end up doing it for free until they fire you. Anyway, someone who worked at the U.S. Mint had done a Google search and had seen this story for me, and they called me up, and you never realize these things. Businesses or institutions across the country that actually have a mascot. The Mint has a mascot.
Is it a quarter?
It's Peter the Mint Eagle.
Oh, that's terrible.
It looks like Benjamin Franklin as an eagle.
Couldn't they call him like Marty the Mint?
Well, guess who was Peter the Mint Eagle at the debut of the Arkansas State Quarter?
I'm
only going to
Diamond
guess one
Mine
time.
in Murfreesboro.
And I'm guessing it's you.
Yes. I've got a photo of me with then-Governor Mike Huckabee. He can't tell that I'm making a face at him because I've got
the eagle
a mascot head on my shoulder.
Well, that's a lot better of experience than I've had at the diamond mines. I think I was like 10 or 11. I was with my aunts and brother and cousin and grandparents, and me and my cousin were robbed of our equipment. Some old man and his wife said that we stole it and like threatened to call the cops on a 12 and 10-year-old.
And you fell for it and gave it to him?
Yes,
Well,
and my aunt was so mad.
They also tell you sometimes it looks like dirt. It might actually be a rock. So I'll tell you what. Take the fiance to the diamond mine. Give her a piece of dirt and see what happens as you're down on one knee.
Or I'll say, dig up your ring, honey.
All right. For Maddie and Drew, I'm Phil. Back with you tomorrow to wrap it up. Get up, get out, get better.